day in my car, I prayed, Lord, I would like to be stuck like Chuck. That means that I would like to be put on a mantle up high, and I would like to prophesy to the nations. I would like to decree and declare, tear down, build up, edification, all the good things that you're literally you've already put it in me to do. Lord, I would like to do that thing. I would like to be stuck like Chuck. Okay. And beloved, as I had gone into this season that I'm in right now, in the very beginning, Chucks began to appear. He had touched my throat. Now consider this, him being a warlock. Why would he touch my throat? Okay, so that way I would not speak. He had imparted a demon on me to where I would not speak, or I would my hand on the chest of a Chuck. Now I don't know why I did this, but I did this. Sometimes the Lord will lead you to do things, and I felt nothing. And I started looking at them, and I'm like, why am I defending myself about what the Lord had told me? So me and the Lord have a game that we play, where if I'm in need of something, well, I'll simply just depend on Him. And I'll go out about my way, and I will do what I was supposed to do that day, and somehow the Lord just provides. Amen. Now, there's been times where I would be needing furniture. He would provide that for me, you know. And the thing about Lubbock, Texas is that whenever they don't want something, they leave it outside their house, okay? And you just pick it up and you take it home, you dust it off, you clean it up, and now it's yours. And that's the wonderful thing about Lubbock, Texas, you know, the hub city, the city that has everything. And then there's some things that cost more, okay? They have garage sales, perhaps. And I remember one time there was a garage sale. Now stay with me because we're going somewhere. There was a garage sale, and there they had this really, really cute, I would call it like a coffee hutch almost. And I saw the price of it, and it was $20. Now, if you know me, you know I'm like pretty cheap. You know, I just don't believe in like spending money, especially considering like me and the game that me and the Lord play. It's like, well, usually this stuff is free, you know. And so I was just like, no, I'm not going to grab that, you know. Well, I had left the garage sale without grabbing this beautiful coffee hutch, you know. And something in me was like, just go back, go back, go back. Some things that you want are going to cost a little more. Some things that you want are going to cost a little more. So I had went back, and lo and behold, it was still there. Amen. And I had purchased the coffee hutch for $20. Now, within 48 hours, I had received a tip from Uber Eats. I was doing Uber Eats and Spark deliveries and things of that nature for money. And I had received a tip for $28 exactly, okay? And so the thing is, beloved, is that I had not worked the day prior to that. So someone had it on their heart to give me a tip of $28. Now, here's the thing, is that whenever I had received that tip, it was the exact amount of money that I had spent at the garage sale that day. You see, because I had bought $8 worth of stuff. And then I turned back around and I had bought the coffee hutch. So even in that, the Lord is saying it was free. It just took an extra step or two to get there. Okay. And so we play this game, and it's a wonderful game. And me and the Lord, it's just a part of our relationship. It's just a daddy-daughter relationship, you know. And so anyways, like I said before, I'm doing deliveries. I'm doing that to make ends meet. Now, prior to that, I had a job as a coach, okay? I was a coach at O.L. Slayton. I called it O.L. Slayton because, baby, it was some heaviness going on in this building. This was also the year that the school had happened to shut down, okay? I was a coach here at O.L. Slayton, and it came time for, this was the last volleyball game of the season, okay? And the Lord had told me, as we had won, my girls had won, my team had won, I was an assistant coach, had won, And the Lord had told me, this is your last game. This is your last game. And I'm like, why, Lord? You know, and I didn't get a response. I just knew that this is like one of those things of like, this is your last game. Now, I don't know if there's an attack coming. I don't know if like the school's going to burn down. I really don't know any of that. Okay. I just know what the Lord told me. And so I didn't go to work the next day. And so we have games on Thursdays, right? So that Friday, I didn't go to work. Okay. I would get a message from the principal. And she pretty much told me that a parent had came in pretty upset and we're going to have a meeting pronto. Well, she didn't know I wasn't at work. Okay. So she was trying to have this meeting immediately. And that I wasn't there. And so then after that, Monday came and I still wasn't there because, first of all, me and my family, we had actually got sick. Okay. And secondly, the word's still in my heart of like the Lord said that was my last game. Now basketball season is starting, so technically it can't be my last game unless I quit or something even worse happens, okay? And so, long story short, I did not go back to that school unless I was picking up my stuff from the school, okay? Well, now I'm in a situation where financially I'm put into a bind financially, okay? And so whenever that happened, beloved, I had started doing the Uber Eats and the things of that nature, okay? That's whenever the coffee hutch and the things like that happen. This is a game that me and the Lord has played for quite a while. He's my provider, okay? He's Jehovah Jireh, okay? And so I'm doing Spark and I'm doing, Uber Eats and things of that nature where the Lord tells me that I need to build a business, okay? And this business would be like almost just personalized direct care work, okay? So in my hands, I have many different gifts, okay? I'm able to do hair, I'm able to do nails. I did my hair. I do nails. I did my eyebrows. Yes, I did my eyelashes. I, do all the things. I actually went to cosmetology school in 2016 for this, okay? I graduated in 2016 from Clarendon College Cosmetology School in Amarillo, Texas. And so I just have a history of, just doing just all around, just doing everything, okay? And so the Lord told me build this business, okay? So I'm building this business and I'm putting some of the money that I'm making from doing deliveries and stuff towards this business that I have, okay? This business idea that the Lord gave me, okay? Well, my car stopped working for 2 weeks. It was in the shop for 2 weeks, okay? And so in that time, beloved, I had got behind on my bills and stuff, okay? And I'm thinking, how can I make money? And so I'm trying to push out my business, but I'm not getting any clients. I'm not getting any bites, And so I'm like, Lord, you told me to build this business. You told me to quit my job. And you see, sometimes we're angry with the Lord of what he's telling us, and we're angry in our obedience, but be angry and do not sin, beloved. Be angry, but do not sin, okay? Just be obedient, okay? And do not sin, okay? So that's the point of that. And so anyways, beloved, as time had progressed, I'm now facing eviction because like I said before, my car was out for 2 weeks. That means 2 weeks worth of money. And you see, even doing like Spark deliveries and Uber Eats and things of that, my bills total to like $1,500 a month. Not to mention like paying for food for me and my family. I'm a single mother of 3 children. Okay. And so it's like in this obedience, I felt like I was trapped. Was it the devil telling me to do this? Was it Satan telling me to do this? So I go back to work and I'm working, and I mean, it's just month after month, the same cycle of like I'm 500 behind them, I'm 400 behind, and then the fees are accumulating. It ends up being an extra $400 or $500 worth of fees. Just this, that, and the third. Just stuff happening, okay? Electricity, this, that, and the third. Gas bill, this, that. It's just so much, and I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm trying. Okay. Well, in that, I ended up going back to drugs. I ended up going back to smoking marijuana, okay? Or I guess you call it THC. Just because for me, I don't want to be disobedient and go against what the Lord told me to do. I don't want to turn to a different way to make money. But Lord, if I have to go through this, at least put me to sleep. And I think that's the reason why a lot of us, we turn to drugs is because I'm going to have to, I can't die. I can't kill myself. I have children that I need to take care of, but I don't want to be awake for this part. For this part right here is too hard, and I just don't want to be awake for this part, so I want to be put to sleep. So I had smoked it because even though I'm going to have to work 10, 12, 13 hours a day, and I'm going to have to be a good parent to my mother, to my children, and I'm going to have to do all the things anyways, Lord, I just want to be put to sleep while I have to do it at least. And so that's exactly what I did, is I had relapsed back into smoking weed because I wanted to be lulled to sleep in this process. Because you see, I did not see anything past what I saw. And so, beloved, as I was smoking, I turned to smoking, leaning on Mary, counting on Jane, you know what I'm saying? The Lord was still had a plan for me. The Lord still has a plan for you, okay? Even as you want to be lulled to sleep, the Lord still has a plan for you. I just want you to keep walking in obedience. I want you to keep having your faith. It is the faith that moves mountains, beloved. I just need you to believe in him, okay? And so I'm working and I'm doing what I can do. But like I said, it's a cycle. 500 here, 400 there. And I'm barely making it every single month. I'm barely making it. And got to the point where I was at this point where I'm 700 behind. Actually, it was $665 behind, okay? Well, 3 days, it's about to be the first. And I'm $665 behind from the last month. So how am I going to get $665 on top of the $1,200? How am I going to do that? I don't know. But I know one thing I cannot do. I cannot go back to sin. I cannot try to figure out, oh, well, maybe I should start selling drugs. Or better yet, maybe I should try to sell my body. Or maybe I should find a man that's going to try to help assist me. Because that's Jezebel's spirit that's trying to rekindle the relationship. Two cannot walk together lest they be agreed. I know none of these answers are going to solve my problem. If it's not, Lord, if anybody can do it, it's going to be you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to work and I'm going to keep doing what I know best to do. And Lord, I'm going to count on you, because the Lord had gave me a promise. See, the Lord had spoke to me this last time I was homeless, when I had to be living with my brother. And the Lord told me, he said, this is the last time you're going to be homeless. This is the last time you're going to be homeless, beloved. And I said, I believe you, Father. And so whenever I got that job working as a coach, I figured I would be there forever. I figured this is the forever after. This is the happily ever after. But you see, whenever he told me to quit that job, to leave, well, I'm counting on you to, I figured he was going, I don't know, I figured I was going to blow up on TikTok or something. I figured, like, you know, I don't know what the Lord is doing, but I'm trusting you in that, Father. I heard you. So I go to work, knowing that I'm behind and knowing that there's nothing in my power that I can do, but not by my might, Lord, not by my strength, Lord, right? And so I go to work and I do what I need to do. And I'm still saying, you know what, Lord Jesus Christ, Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end. You are the one who owns cattle on 1,000 hills. So I'm not going to worry about it. I know what you told me, and I know the promises I have in my heart. Okay. So I'm at work and I pick up this order for $30. And I believe it's like maybe 5 or 6 trips, okay? Shouldn't take no more than an hour to do. That sounds great. $30 an hour? Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Sure, why not? Considering also it didn't have a tip attached to it. It was just a full 30. So I would be able to get that money then and there instead of having to wait an extra 24 hours or whatever the case be. So I'm doing that and I find myself traveling out in the boonies, okay? And, you know, there's a place that I find, and beloved, this place, was kind of hard to find. And whenever the Google Maps had told me where I was, I found myself amongst a whole bunch of sheep. Just in like this barren land with just sheep, you know, behind a gate, of course. And I'm like, surely I cannot drop off these groceries here, you know, because you see, I have integrity and I know that whoever ordered these groceries, this ain't where they wanted at. So I have to call the lady, okay? So I call this lady and she's telling me we're going to have to stay on the phone so she could tell me how to get to the address. And I'm just, something in me is like, No, I want to hang up in her face. Considering she probably didn't even tip, I want to hang up in your face, and I just want to go on to the next one and then bring it back to Walmart. Then I was thinking, well, if I cancel a part of that order, I'm not going to get the full 30. And then another voice came in and said, show yourself friendly. Show yourself friendly. Be nice, be patient, be kind. But see, I'm under pressure. And you see, whenever you're under pressure, the things that are inside you are squeezed out. So I have frustration in one hand because you see, I am in a desperate situation. And then in another hand, I have kindness, peace, love, and joy. Okay? And so I stay on the phone with this woman. And finally, I arrive at my destination about 20 minutes later. Okay? She had to give me instructions on how to get there. And we had a nice conversation about the neighbors who lived over yonder and things of that nature. It was very nice. And I pulled up, beloved. And it was like a farmhouse, if you will. Well, we get to talking. And I look over and there's this yellow house. Now, beloved, this yellow house, it looked like no one had lived there. And I said, y'all should rent that out. And for me, because in my mind, I'm thinking of like, okay, how can I make money? So whenever I look at other people, I'm thinking of how can they make money too? And I'm thinking, y'all got this nice property out here. You ain't rented it out. Y'all are sitting on major money. You gotta rent that thing out, Get some extra money in here. You can never have enough. Amen. And so I mentioned that to the woman, and she said, yeah, well, such and such, so-and-so used to live there, and they don't live there anymore. Oh, okay, cool. Well, then another woman pulls up, okay? Apparently, this is the owner of the house, okay? She pulls up in a red car, and she gets out. She says hello. I say hello. And then the other lady, the one who I was talking to before, she says she wants to rent the house. I ain't never said I wanted to rent that house. I said you should rent it out. I don't even have no money to be renting no house. Okay? I didn't have any money to be trying to get into a new house whenever I could barely even stay in my own house. You feel me? And so the woman who had pulled up in the red car, she had said, yeah, well, I don't know what she said exactly. Somewhere along the lines of, that she's willing to rent it out for a certain amount every month or something like that. I said, okay, cool, but I'm not thinking this is realistic because I don't have money to give her to do that. Okay. And then I say, oh, you know what, actually this pops up in my mind. I have this business plan that the Lord had gave me, and I need to go ahead and see if maybe they could be a potential client, okay? Because in that, the Lord had showed me that, whenever you're doing these deliveries, you can always pitch your business idea. You can always tell these individuals, hey, I do this, this, and this. If you're interested, would you consider being one of my clients, okay? And so that's the moment I had used to pitch this idea. Hey, I, have this business idea. Well, not business idea. I have a business that doesn't have any clients yet. And would you be interested? Lo and behold, they were very interested. Okay. So, long story short, beloved, I was able to move into this house, the house that I'm in right now, with the pretty wall that I painted. I was able to move into this house with no money that I had to give these individuals who now I call my family. And you see, beloved, all I had to do was clean it up. You see, because it had a doggy door, and the doggy door was open, and so it let in a lot of dirt, okay? So she said, you don't have to pay a deposit. None of that. We're going to hook up the water. We're going to hook up a generator to where there's electricity until we can get electricity going. It's going to get started on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was. And at any point, you can live here now. Now. And so, no deposit. All you have to do is clean it and paint it. That's all you have to do. And you see, I'm reminded of the game that me and the Lord plays. Of whenever I need something, I want something, I desire something, I will find it on the streets of Lubbock, Texas. And all I have to do is pick it up and take it home and wash it. But I would never think in a million years that I would take it home and wash it and it would be mine for free. And since I have been here, beloved, it has been 7 months. 7 months I have been here, and the enemy has tried in numerous ways to devour me. The enemy, looking back in retrospect, has always tried to devour me, you see. And now that it has hit the 7th month marker, it is time for a new book, a new chapter. It's time to write something new. You see, because whenever I came here, I began to work for these individuals, and I was able to see something that I had not seen before. And it was warmth. So, more about the people that I work for. They're not perfect, but they're perfect, you see. The husband, he works in heating and air conditioning, okay. He's also a jack of all trades, if you will. And he's also a minister. He's a pastor. Okay. And then the mother figure, she works at a place where they sell light. They sell lighting fixtures. Okay. And she quotes the light fixture so that way people can go out and sell it. Okay. So in the spiritual perspective of this, what we see here is someone who is a minister and someone who looks at the price of light and then sells it. Okay. And that to me speaks to me, because whenever she looked at me, she did not know me, but yet she saw value on me, and she was able to take a risk on me and said that I'm worthwhile. You see, it's not often that people just open up their doors and say, "Here, come into my house. Come here is the passcode to my door," and let you in. Perhaps she saw a light in me, and she saw value in me that nobody had seen before. And for me, you would say, "Well, Brianna, it's been 7 months. How come you haven't said anything?" Well, because for me, honestly, I'm waiting on this to be a bad thing. I'm waiting on this to be a bad thing. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something awful to happen, so that way I can say the devil has deceived me once again. You see, because in the past, I thought that, whenever someone came as a form of light, eventually they showed me that they were of darkness. They showed me that people are not to be trusted. You see, because I was in foster care, I have always went into other people's homes where I trusted them to take care of me. And they always showed me something different. They always showed me that mankind is just a failing, awful thing that you have to just deal with. And you see, prior to being in foster care, I was with my grandmother. it did not work out. Whenever I was with my grandfather, it did not work out. Whenever I was with my mother, she had abandoned me. It did not work out. So I'm used to things not working out. So you see, be patient with me, because I'm waiting for it not to work out. And instead of it not working out, it's just gotten better and better and better. Beloved, the Lord had told me that you need to believe your eyes. You need to believe your eyes. And you see, there's been multiple individuals who had came into the picture trying to distort my eyes, trying to put the scale over my eyes. You see, beloved, because before my deliverance into here, into the now, I had prayed to God to be stuck like Chuck. To be stuck like Chuck. Brianna, what are you talking about? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. I prayed to be stuck like Chuck. And what that meant for me is I wanted to be a famous prophet. Okay? Now, we should know Chuck Pierce. He's a famous prophet, okay? He's just world-renowned famous prophet. He's just, prophet to the nations. Oh, man. And that's what I would like for my life. You see, because God, you must have something good. You would have something great in store. If you told me to quit my job, you must have something greater in store. And so, I know that I have prophetic abilities, okay? And the gift is without repentance, okay? So, Lord, if I'm going to use my gift, let me use it for the nations. Amen. And so, beloved, I'm going to be honest. One day in my car, I prayed, Lord, I would like to be stuck like Chuck. That means that I would like to be put on a mantle up high, and I would like to prophesy to the nations. I would like to decree and declare, tear down, build up, edification, all the good things that you're literally, you've already put it in me to do. Lord, I would like to do that thing. I would like to be stuck like Chuck. Okay. And I pray that. And beloved, as I had gone into this season that I'm in right now, in the very beginning, Chucks began to appear. Individuals whose names were Chuck had begun to appear. Okay? The first Chuck that was there prior before me getting into the house that I'm in right now. Okay? The house that I was living at had a church right next door. Okay? It was a church at YCare, okay, in the YMCA building, okay? There was a church there. And I had went up to receive prayer. It's my first time going to the church. I went up to receive prayer, okay? I don't know exactly what I was praying about. Maybe about, like, quitting my job or something. I don't know, okay? But the prayer man up there, his name was Chuck. Chuck? Well, I didn't tell him right then and there, but I'm thinking, maybe I'm supposed to be stuck here because God led me here, and your name is Chuck. Like, I pray to be stuck like Chuck, and maybe, like, I don't know, let's see what happens, And so as time had progressed, beloved, I kept getting prayer from Chuck, okay? And then I trusted to tell him the dreams that the Lord was showing me. Now, in one of these dreams, the Lord had showed me that I was, like, knocking on doors, right? I was knocking on doors, and I was asking for deliverance, okay? I was going to, like, churches and stuff like that, people's houses and stuff like that. I need deliverance, and everyone was scared to deliver me, excuse me. And I had this demon, okay? And I needed someone to stand with me to fight against it, okay? And everyone was just scared. They wouldn't do it. They would push me aside, put me in the back room. Eventually, I would end up, it wouldn't work out, okay? And the Lord told me in the dream that you have wandered to and fro. Therefore, I will deliver you. I will give you a mother and a father because you have wandered to and fro, okay, in the dream. It's like, okay, whatever that means, all right? And so I told Chuck this dream. And it's just a dream. It's like, okay. Let's pray, And in that time, I will pray about financial assistance. I will pray about my issue with smoking weed. I will pray about all that different stuff, okay? And then, beloved, one day, I decided to tell Chuck, hey, I had prayed to God to be stuck like Chuck. And that's the reason why I think I'm supposed to be at this church right now is because, well, I came up here. Your name's Chuck. So I'm assuming I'm supposed to be where you're at,